World number one, John Florence in the lineup to battle with Sebastian Zietz. John from Oahu, Sebastian from Kauai going head-to-head for a spot in the quarterfinals. And John obviously wearing yellow, meaning he's the most informed surfer of 2019.
To wear that Jeep Leaders jersey just means you're doing everything right, Joe. So looking good.
Florence will take the first wave. Big whip in the pocket, but can't control it. So they get the fall out of the way, but just like Florence does, not holding back. Had a nice pocket section to work with. Tried to belt the lip off the top. I think Ross was actually working them around the same time as well. And he just all of a sudden worked out a beautiful strategy. Worked out equipment well before the contest started with John Pizell. And the two-time world champ is going to get another option here. Big connection out the back. Good for one move.
Beginning of this heat, Sebastian and John were kind of caddying for position out there, and the best wave of the heat rolled through unridden.
A way to start the day. Italo still so fired up on his performances from the last couple of days, eliminating a former event champ. As we see Florence take off really late and have to kick out immediately. Not just in Triple Crown history, I think just in surfing history, with all of his best friends just carrying the surfboard, and he styled his way to collect his trophy. Here comes John. Huge carve, using every bit of that rail. Big whip in transition over the roof. Fourth maneuver will shut that one down. Best wave of the heat so far.
Doesn't quit on it. You know, he just continues through that turn. Draws off the bottom, setting it up. Right there, just driving down again. You know, that was just an insane maneuver. Straight into the next one. So beautiful flow on this wave for John Florence. And that is what is going to be dangerous to beat out here at the main break. That frontside attack is second to none. Let's have a look here as he pumps off the bottom, eyeing out that section. And once he connects with the lip, and he starts to drive, gets that body in the right position, and then just gives it that extra little bit at the end of it. Not many guys do that. Kind of come out of that turn and then straight into the next one. John just does not quit on that maneuver. And it gives him so much speed coming out of the turn as well, which on a wave like this, a very difficult thing to do. Unmatched a few years ago out here at main break, and we're starting to see that same sort of form, Joe.
Next one setting up for Sebastian Zietz. Here's his windup. Beautiful power carve. Now the section's coming down in front of him, looking for maybe one more, and he's going to have to step off. Started off strong with his version of that beautiful rail work that took him to the podium a few years back. Back when he was a wild card call-up to the top 34. He's been here ever since.
Beautiful turn there from Sebastian Zietz, and then just kind of got stuck behind that section the entire wave. So one solid turn for Seabass. What a turn it was, though. As you said, Joe, the maneuver that took him to a win here at Margaret River. Right there, as good as anyone really when you look at it. You can see how
just so hard with power. Seabass up now out the back. Rapid cutback to start, hard off the bottom, finds the lip to hit with the tail blow. Throws a little three, but he is incomplete. Two-turn combination. Needing a 6.85 for the lead with 12 minutes to go.
Is John's back up at the moment. Sebastian Zietz trying to get himself back into this heat, Joe. Again, wave selection. It's got to be so important. You've got to make sure you're on those bigger bomb waves. I mean, that was a fun wave to surf for Seabass, but I don't think it's going to come into play. Live action.
Seabass on an important ride. A lot of open face to work with. Clean frontside arc in the pocket. Big fan off the top as he unloads for the Molokai Channel with his good friend Kona Johnson. What happened to Seabass here?
Seabass's best wave so far, Joe. Beautiful opening maneuver. And then right there, that's what you need, a bit of pizzazz. Sliding that tail out. Needed to finish that, though. It's those little things that you've got to really focus on. The judges are super critical on the finishing of a wave. They will reward the score, all the job done along the way, but
we'll go right to Florence in transition. Laying down some frontside cutbacks, and will lay back hack on that inside corner and step off. So John still had the 2.67 to get rid of. That's gone.
On Florence, who's starting to crank it up. At 2.67, as you said, Joe, long gone now. John looking sharp, looking cool, calm, and collected, and just throwing lots of water out the back of the wave. So, opening maneuver here on this wave. See the waves that he's catching, Joe, a lot smoother on the face, so it's allowing him really to hook in a lot better. There's no lump and bump on it. It's nice and smooth on the face, and that's that second wave of the set. So even with the offshore winds, that first wave a little lumpier and bumpier, but the second wave nice and clean and just really loaded up on the reef for John just to smack it a couple of times.
As they break down the conditions on what's going to be scoring well, back to action with Sebastian Zietz trying to put up a huge fight with 3 minutes to go. One more section to work with. It's a layback that he had to really try to find some water for. He saw a rock pop up right behind him. The previous exchange was important, though.
Let's have a look. Didn't have a lot of wall on it, so had to fade right from the start of the wave. Beautiful layback snap, but I think the wave's going to let him down here, not the surfing. Needed a bit more vertical face. First turn, very important. He nailed the first turn, but then the wave went super small. Really quickly tapered off, and that's the effort on that first maneuver, though. I love the intent that he's got. John out the back, though, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
And this looks like a fun wave for John. Hard off the bottom, front side, wrap in the pocket, controls the slide. Fits in another wrapping turn, and that wave will shut down. It's a wave that started off as a beautiful peak, kind of faded on him. Still threw down 2 turns. Got to get to his feet before the horn. Looks like he got up in time, but that section's not going to work out for him and holds him off. Florence is able to survive with another close win over Sebastian Zietz. Those heats with these two are always so incredible, and Florence will move on to battle in the quarterfinals.